Hi everybody, I'm back for session number 2 and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about this today because this is one of the things that surprised me the most about building this passion-centered coaching business was community. It was one of the biggest unexpected blessings and one of my favorite things about coaching, and so I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it today. And then also we're going to talk a little bit today about the characteristics that I believe the most successful people in this business have, so you can see if maybe you have those or if you could develop them and find success too. So let's dive in. So as you guys know from my story yesterday, I was struggling before I came across coaching, and I felt very isolated and alone. I think that can happen a lot as a new mom in general, and I know that there's a lot of really great mom groups, but I didn't have my people that I was plugged into. I didn't feel like I had that community of support. When I was in high school, I was super involved in team sports. I played volleyball and I was a cheerleader, but volleyball was my main sport. I played it, oh goodness, from 6th or 7th grade through when I graduated, and that was my main thing. I played for my school, and I played for a club volleyball team, which is basically like a traveling competitive team. So I was pretty much practicing volleyball or playing volleyball almost every single night, almost year round. And the team that I was on in high school was really good. We had a legacy of state championships, and we were a really good team, so we took it really seriously, and my coach took it really seriously. And I don't know if any of you guys have been on a sports team like that where it's a serious thing for everybody involved, but it's a really cool feeling when you're on a team like that and you practice all the time and you start to get to know each other, and you know that when that person moves this way that you need to move this way. It's almost like a dance. Like, you get so good at knowing the other people and what they're going to do that you basically just feel like everyone's swirling around in this perfectly choreographed dance of teamwork. And you know that, when you get in a bad spot as a team, that you guys have no other option but to pull together and pull out of it. And you know that, when you're getting down on yourself, your teammates are going to peck you back up, or they're going to give you a kick in the ass when you need it. And I loved that. I loved my volleyball team. I have the best memories of our times together. I even have knee socks, gross knee socks that I have kept since my senior year that our coach gave us during one of our championship games. And they're still in my drawer because I love to look at them and remember that time of my life. But once you leave high school, if you don't play sports in college, then you don't really have that anywhere in your life anymore. At least I didn't. I didn't have that. I didn't play sports in college, and I didn't join a sorority in college, so I didn't really have any of that. And even if you did go to college and do those things, once you get out of college, it's all gone. There's not really a place anymore as a grown-up for you to feel plugged into that community in the same way, which is a shame because it's such an amazing thing to feel that teamwork, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of blood, sweat, and tears for a goal, and you did it together, right? I loved that feeling. I loved all of it. I loved feeling like I knew my teammates. I loved feeling like they were there for me to pick me up, to challenge me, to make me better, to celebrate with me. I loved it all. And it was something that I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started to have it again. So when I joined as a coach and I decided I was going to do this passion-centered business, I joined in with a team, obviously, and that team had a very great family dynamic, and I loved it. And I wanted to incorporate that in my team too, but even more. Like, I wanted to have it even be a closer, tight-knit team feeling, a sisterhood. I wanted it to be vulnerable, and I wanted people to know that this was a safe spot to be exactly who they were, to come as they were with their shortcomings, with their worries, with their fears, and to know that they were in a place where it was safe for them to grow and where people would challenge them, where it wasn't just going to be a group of woe is me or enabling, but it was going to be a group where you could come and you could say, here's what I have, here's what I don't have, here's where I want to go, and people could say, yes, you can do it. Here are some things that I did that helped. Here's the direction to go. You can do it. We're going to cheer you on the whole way. And I had this vision for that. because when I joined and I had these people that I was connected to that were other coaches on the team that were at the same stage of me as me, where they were building these businesses and they were seeing the potential for their life, and they were going through the learning phases, because anytime you do something new, there's a learning curve, and that can be something that makes you get a little bit nervous. It can make you feel a little bit timid, and it can make you feel like maybe you don't know what you're doing, which is fine, because you don't, because that's what life is. You don't know what you're doing for 100 times until you finally get it on time 100, and then you know what you're doing from then forward. So in that stage, you feel very vulnerable, and you feel like you have these moments where you think, oh, did I make the right decision? Am I cut out for this? Is this something that I really need to be putting so much of my time and effort in? And that is where the community rose to the occasion with me. And I made some of the best friends of my whole life when I joined as coaching. I have friends that I talk to constantly all day that live all over North America, and they know more about me than some of the people that I know in real life that live close to me, because of how much we are able to be vulnerable with each other. We're a team. We can share our deepest, most passionate, the things we hold closest to our heart, desires for our life. We can share the things that we are struggling with, the things that we don't love about ourselves, the messy parts, and we can ask for help, and we can ask for support and encouragement, and we can actually get it. It was the craziest thing to me to find this group of women that were so uplifting. In the photography community, there are lots of great uplifting artist groups, but nothing like this, because no matter how much we tried in photography, you're still competition with the people that are around you. No matter what people say we're not competition, we're all helping each other, but at the end of the day, you are competition, because there's only so many people in a market, and they're gonna have to go with one of you, right? But in coaching, the way that this business works, you're not in competition, because the way that this is structured, which we'll talk about next time when we get down to business, is a rising water lifts all ships situation. We're so interconnected in our team that when one person succeeds, it helps everybody else succeed. And when everybody else succeeds, it helps that one person succeed. So everyone is completely open with their resources, with their ideas, with their tips. And it was something I had never, ever, ever encountered in my life. I had never been in a place in a career where I was trying to come up with a new thing, or when I was trying to work on a project, and I went to a group and I said, I'm really struggling with this, and someone said, oh, here, I did that last weekend, here, just take mine. Something that someone else spent hours on. Someone put so much effort into that for themselves, for what they were doing, and they just gave it to me with no pretense, not wanting anything back. There was no trick. They're not trying to hurt my business. They're not, hiding anything from me. It's just free giving of resources. And it was the most incredible thing I had ever experienced in my life as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a career woman. And it has to this day been the most astonishing part of this career to me, is the community of giving and open and support and love and sisterhood and all of it. And it's supported by the company. It starts at a company level and it trickles down, and then people like me decide that we want to do it even more, and we just create all of these outlets for communities. So on our team, we have these monthly challenge groups that you can join to be working on your fitness and health goals, and also just to help you stay accountable with the daily, in and out, which can sometimes feel like drudgery of having to do a workout every day when maybe you don't feel like it, or maybe you're on your period, or whatever it is. That you can come in these groups and you can find people who are there to support you, people that are giving you a reason to get up and push play, who are reminding you of your goals and of why you're here, and that will support you. And then we have a team page where we can all talk all day long. It's open 24/7 because it's online, and there are coaches from all over North America in there, and it's incredible because we all get to know each other, and it's like a family reunion all day, every day, and we share tips and resources and support and help, and there's incredible wealths of information, tools that have been created by generations of coaches that have been made by them to make their life easier, refined over time, passed on to you, all for free, and it's all right there. And then we have other smaller groups for people who are pushing for similar goals or who are at similar points in their business, where you can connect with people who are exactly where you are, working on the exact same things as you, and you can be poured into by mentors, and you can help push for those goals together. It's amazing. So like I was saying, there are these times in your business where you think, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Is this something I should be doing? And that is where I want to talk about the characteristics that make a successful coach. Because there's not one type of person that's good at coaching. You don't have to be a certain body type. You don't have to be at a certain fitness level. You don't have to be good at a certain specific group of things. You can bring your talents to the table. You can come exactly where you're at now and be successful if you have these following characteristics that I have found in the last 2 years of coaching separate who's going to be a successful coach from who's not. And here's what they are. Number one, you may want to get a pen and a piece of paper. I'll wait. Get your pen and your paper now so you can write these things down. All right. Got your pen and paper so you can write these down so you can remember? Number one, the number one thing that I think separates someone who's a successful coach from someone who's not a successful coach is consistency. I know that sounds so silly, right? Consistency. But here's the thing. In this business and in so many things of your life, all you have to do is do it long enough to get a result. I know that sounds so basic and it sounds so silly, but it is the single-handed thing that ruins people's success in both fitness, in their weight loss and health, and in building passion-centered businesses. And I'm not just talking about coaching now. I'm talking about any businesses. If you are trying to build a photography business, if you're trying to build a social media business, if you're trying to be a writer, if you're trying to be an actor or an actress, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Consistency is going to separate the successful from the not successful, and here's why. Because you have to do it long enough outside of how you feel about doing it, outside of your emotions, to get traction, to get results. It's a principle called the slight edge, and it basically is the idea of compound interest. A penny duplicated every day for the longest time doesn't add up to very much. But once you hit this tipping point and it starts compounding and compounding, these bigger numbers start compounding, it starts to shoot up the curve. The success curve starts to shoot up really, really quickly. But most people quit before they get to the tipping point because most people don't have what it takes to continue to do the same actions consistently when they start to not feel like it. Most people quit fitness programs after a couple weeks because they just get tired of doing it and they say, well, I'm not seeing results fast enough, so I'm just going to stop doing it. When in all actuality, the results are coming at a normal pace, but they have to keep going long enough to create the habits, to get their body time to adjust, to have the results that they need to have. So that's the number one thing that I see happen with coaches and people building these businesses is they quit before their tipping point. So consistency is the number one thing. If you want to build a successful passion-centered business, you have to be willing to be consistent every single day, separated from how you feel in the moment, long enough to see results. Number two characteristic that I think makes a successful coach is someone who is willing to not wait on other people and to go find the answers for themselves. So just like anything, if you are building a passion-centered business, you're going to wear a lot of hats because you're technically an entrepreneur. That's what you're doing. You're a business owner. And business owners of small businesses, we wear a lot of hats. It's just true. We are our marketers. We are the CEO. We are the financial officer. We are the artists. We are the customer service department. We're everything all in one thing. And luckily, with this passion-centered business of coaching, we have an incredible company at our back that handles a lot of that kind of stuff for us. But there's still stuff that we have to do that is maybe outside of our comfort zone. And as a coach, there are going to be times when you don't know how to do something or where you are not sure what the next right step is, and you have to make a decision whether you're going to sit around and wait for the answer to come to you or whether you're going to go out and you're going to figure it out on your own, whether you're going to look up YouTube tutorials, whether you're going to go and find the answers online, whether you're just going to do trial and error until you get it. But that is a mentality that not everybody has. Surprisingly enough, I thought everybody just has that mentality because that's how I am naturally, but it's not the case. A lot of people have an employee mindset instead of an entrepreneurial mindset. And it's not your fault if you are this way because we're taught from childhood to be this way. You go to school, you sit in your seat, you do the things that your teacher says, you report to your teacher, you turn in your homework and you're graded. You go to college, you do the same thing. Then you get a job and you report to your boss, your supervisor, your manager. You do the things that they tell you to do. You turn them in the amount of time they say to do. That's all you do. And you get graded on it. You get raises, you get reviews at the end of the year. That's not what being an entrepreneur is. There's no one to report to as an entrepreneur. So the only person that's going to get hurt if you don't do the things that you need to do is you in your own business. That's the only thing that's going to suffer. There's no boss here that's going to get mad at you. I'm not your boss if you decide to join. I am your mentor. So I'm not going to be sitting over you every day saying, here's the 5 things that you need to do today. Here's your list of things to do when you're in your work hours. You've got to be able to do it yourself. You need to be able to have that self-drive and that self-discipline to be able to say, here's the things that are going to move me forward, and I'm going to sit down and do them, and if I don't know what to do, I'm going to go figure it out. So that was number 2. Number 3, you need to be willing to work on the areas of your life that you're not super strong in. So, like I said, everybody can use their own unique talents and abilities coming into coaching to be successful at building a passion-centered business. Whatever you're good at, doesn't matter. You're good at something. Don't tell me you're not good at something, because you are. You can use that to be your platform, your springboard to connect with people. But no matter how many things you're good at, even if you're one of those people who's just good at everything they try, there's probably something that you're weaker in. And to be a successful coach, you need to be willing to do the personal work to grow in those areas because of number 2, because there is no boss here. There's no one telling you what to do, no one to report to. So you have to do the personal development yourself to grow in those areas of weakness. Maybe it's organization, maybe it's time management, maybe it's self-discipline. That's something that I struggle with a lot sometimes. So I have to work on being better at it. Creative things come easily to me. Financial things don't. Self-discipline doesn't. Those kind of things don't. So I have to work on my own education. It's like continuing education. I have to be my own teacher, and I have to learn from others, and I have to know that those are weak spots about myself and really work to bolster those and get better. Number 4 is you have to be willing to get a little vulnerable. So I know that sounds scary and everyone's like, ugh. Now, I'm not talking about airing your dirty laundry out for the world to see. I'm not talking about putting bikini pictures of yourself online. But I am talking about the type of vulnerability that connects you to somebody. So hopefully you're feeling connected to me because I've been sharing a lot about my personal life with all of you guys, and we're practically strangers, but that's okay. But that's what I'm talking about. So there is a beauty in vulnerability, and if you haven't yet watched it, I would strongly urge that after this, if you have some time, you go and you Google Brené Brown, Power of Vulnerability TED Talk. Brené Brown, B-R-E-N-E, Brown like the color, vulnerability, and then TED Talk. She did an incredible TED Talk on the power of vulnerability, and it's something that is lost in a lot of our society, especially when it comes to social media, because we want to put on a good front. We want to be positive. We don't want to be whiners. We want everybody to view us as successful and accomplished and charming and beautiful. And we don't want people to see the dirty sides or the struggle. And that's natural and that's fine. It's not a bad thing. But in this business, we connect with people over the struggle. That's what we do. And that's the beauty of it, and that's what makes this the most fulfilling thing in the whole world, because you are more connected. It's not surface level. You're really getting to know people. You're really connecting with people. That's why the community is so beautiful. And that's why this job is so fulfilling. Because when you can connect with someone over something that's really difficult for them, and they can feel comfortable with you, and you can be open with each other, and then you can support each other through that, and then that person has their moment of breakthrough, and it is the most beautiful thing to witness, and you get to be a part of that. Like, you got to play an instrumental role in a huge moment of somebody's life, whether that is a fitness breakthrough, whether it's confidence, whether that's believing in themselves for the first time in their whole adult life, whether that is getting their family out of a bad financial spot and having some sort of financial freedom because you've helped them learn how to build a business that supports their family and their goals. It's incredible, you guys. Incredible. But you have to be willing to be vulnerable first. So when you start as a coach, you have to be willing to share some of your story with the world, with whoever's willing to listen to it. We use social media a lot as coaches because that's an incredible and free platform for getting our stories out in front of other people. And people are looking for people to connect to. That's the whole beauty of social media, is you want to find other people like you or that inspire you to connect to. One of my friends told me this quote that said, people follow you online because they are either like you or because they want to be like you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And we can use our story to connect with other people. I can use my story of postpartum depression to connect with other moms that are either in it or have been in it, and they're going to understand exactly what it felt like, and we're going to be able to connect on a deeper level because I was willing to share that about myself. Being able to share your fitness journey and your health journey, the ups and downs, being able to show the stuff that you're doing is really important. Being willing to show your progress. I'm not saying you have to put bikini pictures of yourself online, but being willing to show your face online, to put pictures of yourself up, to show the triumphs that you've had, the accomplishments, the things that you're proud of, to share vulnerably if there's something you struggle with and how you've overcome it. Those are really important parts about being a coach. So those are the characteristics that I think separate people who are going to be successful at passion-centered business building and people who are going to struggle and might eventually quit before they have their breakthrough moment of success. And that's such a shame because none of these characteristics are things that are impossible to have. They're just things that you really have to decide are going to be something you focus on. I'm not telling you have to know astrophysics or that you have to be able to do backflips or things that you can't just innately do. These are things that are in all of us. We just have to bring them up to the surface and commit to keeping them there. So the last thing I want to talk about is how we use this last trait of vulnerability combined with social media to build our businesses and connect with people in a way that is very natural. So a lot of people have a negative mindset about network marketing because of, just history. And I think that the way that I have been able to build my business, that my team does it, and that the trend is starting to shift now is a really beautiful thing because it's different than the way it's been done in the past. And it is on this deeper level of vulnerability and connectivity that didn't happen before. So for me, this business is not about the products. The products are a vehicle. The products are a tool to help me help other people have these aha moments in their life and really create some sort of lasting positive change that moves them in the direction they want to go in. The products are a tool that I use to get there because I know that they work and because they're simple and because they're affordable and because I have had a great experience with them. So with 100% integrity, I can recommend them. But they're not the end-all be-all. They're not the only thing out there that helps people lose weight. They're not even the primary focus of my business. The primary focus of my business is getting people unstuck from whatever it is. So what I do is I use social media to be able to share that passion and that journey, to celebrate the successes of the people that are working with me now, and to inspire other people to see the potential for themselves. And I think that when you go that direction, building your business with your passion, that's my passion, getting people unstuck, helping people to build these businesses that support their goals, helping them to find the programs and the systems that are going to help their health and their fitness goals, so they feel that confidence, so that they feel that I can accomplish things, I can do hard things, and they can see that they can take that into other areas of their life and they can really change the situation that they're in, no matter what it is. That is my passion. So I share that. I don't necessarily just share products. I don't push products. I'm in network marketing, which is in sales. Direct sales is the industry that I'm in. But I find myself more of this passion-centered business sharing. That's what I do. And that's what I teach my team to do, because every single one of you has that passion inside of you for something. Even if you haven't fully identified it yet, you have it, it's there. It's like this little burning ember inside. And when you can identify it, and when you can have the vulnerability to share it, and when you can do that consistently, then you're gonna have success. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, talking about the characteristics of a successful coach in the community, the most wonderful thing I think about this passion-centered business. So what I would love for you to do today is, if you have any questions thus far, if anything that I've talked about you want me to dig deeper into, write it in a comment below. Also, look up Brene Brown's Power of Vulnerability TED Talk, because I think it's really beautiful. And whether you want to be a coach or not, whether you are, launching into a different entrepreneurial pursuit, I think that it will benefit you, because this is something that can be used across the board to help us connect with other people in beautiful ways. So thank you for joining me. Remember to come back tomorrow. Come back later tonight. We're going to be getting down to business. I'm going to be talking about the ins and outs of this business, how it works, breaking it down for you, so you can see exactly what it is. And I'm going to peel back the curtain and show you exactly what a day in the life of a coach, me, looks like. So if you're curious about that, come back this afternoon tonight. We're going to be doing that, and then we'll wrap up tomorrow. Thank you guys so much.